There once was a cricket player. He could be either gender, and he could be playing for any club, from a neighborhood group to a representative of a country in international competition. The main thing is that he was hit by a cricket ball. It could have been a fairly minor accident, or it could have caused him a lot of pain and a serious injury. The main thing is that he didn't like it. And who would? In his case, he disliked it enough that he decided to stop playing cricket. But that isn't how he tells the story. He just stopped playing with the club where he was hurt by the ball. He may have found a club that sympathized with his injury and that experienced something similar themselves. He may have even gone on to start a cricket club himself. There are a lot of clubs out there which are full of people who have been hit by a cricket ball. Maybe it was carelessness on their part that caused the accident. Maybe it was carelessness or even anger on the part of the person who threw the ball. Maybe it was both. The main thing is that they all reached the same conclusion. They decided to play cricket without using a ball. It was, in their opinion, unfair to say that they had stopped playing cricket. Sure, there were limitations on what they could do, but it was only a ball. Without it, they could still have rules, officials, clubhouses, cricket fields, nice uniforms, the works. If anyone were to say that they were not playing cricket, they would be wrong. In fact, they had far more in common with other cricket clubs than they had differences. It was just a ball, after all. A fairly tiny ball by comparison to volleyballs or basketballs, for example. Now, what did these other clubs do without a ball? Well, it depended on each club. There were some who focused on the name of the club, with names like the Ultimate Cricket Club, or the Most Wonderful Cricket Club, or the Universal Cricket Club. They would have business meetings and do their best to fill stadiums with people who talked about cricket, the rules, the history, especially the history of their own club, various great leaders they had, etc. And they would follow it all up with fundraising, lots of fundraising, for new cricket pitches, new ovals, new clubhouses, new uniforms. Other clubs were more disciplined. They would focus on exercises, practicing various batting and catching and running maneuvers. Some turned their attention to the club rooms, with new improved bars and supplemental entertainment for spectators. But the bottom line is just that none of them ever used balls. It was so much safer that way. No one ever got hurt. Now, like with all parables, the interpretation is something that you really need to work out for yourself, and there can be any number of applications of that interpretation to help you grow spiritually. But the parable maker can also offer a pretty blunt interpretation that will still go over the heads of the average listener, so that the parables still remain mysteries to most people. I'm going to do that here. I'm going to say that cricket is Christianity, and the cricket ball is accountability. Take accountability out, and you can still do an incredible job of imitating a cricket club without ever getting down to the real point of the game, which is to score runs. Without accountability, everyone can be right in their own way. Everyone makes their own rules, and everyone can use cliches to their own advantage. If anyone tries to point out errors in that kind of reasoning, you just kick them out of your club, or you move away from them and start or join another club. Consequently, we have a proliferation of cricket clubs all convincing themselves that they are playing cricket, and doing so without the need for a ball. Now, they can have accountability for a lot of other things. For example, the distance around the oval, the placing of the wickets, the length of the pitch, but not one single run will ever be scored in real cricket because no one ever gets around to dealing with the real issue of the missing ball, that is, accountability. The other clubs enter into a silent conspiracy with you, that is, that you're not really playing cricket, if you won't say the obvious to them. In the privacy of your own club room, you can talk about where the others are wrong, but when you are out in the public eye, You can all pretend to be friends. The main thing is that you personally must never let a ball come near you. And it's all so safe. The problem, however, is that it's just not cricket.